It never fails. I guess I just have bad luck is what it is. I just have, I don't know, very, very bad luck. So I was trying to go live from the link that I created, and then it didn't work, which plays into everything that I ever do. But today we're talking about some issues with the aquarium garage. I don't know what I'm going to call it. It's just a place that's going to have a ton of aquarium. I shouldn't say a ton. It's going to be a place that has fully designed, fully complete aquascapes, I guess you can say. My goal is for it to be more natural. I do like to thank everybody that's coming in right now and, taking time out of their night. I greatly appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button, like this video and the notification bell. It helps the channel. It really does. And, these live videos are fun for me, and it's just a thing that I enjoy doing. But we've got Craigor's Fish in the house. I'm trying to look for, he's a moderator now. So we got him rocking. So I wanted to kind of go over where we're at in the process, what we're doing, and some of the things that I'm running into, because if you've been following along with anything in this world, a lot of things are becoming more and more expensive. And I want to kind of push out some of the things that I don't need for the things that I do need, because I'm coming tight on cash. I guess you could say. I've sold every Ninja Turtle that I'm willing to part with, which is a lot. This whole shelves are like almost gone now, but I have pretty much sold everything. And so, yeah, I've traded in things to get more capital, you can say, or cash flow. And so I'm just kind of rock and rolling. This aquarium behind me will probably be for sale. I'm not sure yet, because everything that's going into the garage is going to be an enclosed, environment. So it's not going to be, all of these crazy rimless, frameless tanks. They're all going to have lids. I need to control the environment, which leads me into some of the things that I need help with, because I don't want it to be a half-ass or half-thought-through room, cave, speakeasy, whatever it's called. I want it to be, what I'm thinking is 2 aquariums on the side, at least 6 feet long, and then 2 aquariums all the way to the back, which would be 6 total aquariums, and then potentially a pond of some sort. I'm not sure. I don't know, but the idea is those aquariums are going to cost me a lot of money, especially right now. So I need to plan that in the best possible way. The next step is electricity. And Thursday is the meeting for electricity. So for some of you folks that join or see this video before Thursday, I'm going to let you know what my ideas are, and then I want you to give me your suggestions. And then we're going to move into the flooring. And then we can kind of talk about some other things. But as we kind of get to this moment in time, we have already added plumbing, hot and cold water with a drain right as you come in to the side door. So there's the front garage door. It's a 20, I believe it's 20 or 24 feet deep garage by 14 feet left to right. It was designed for like a trailer or a, I guess, RV. And now it's going to be the fish room. So there's a side door that you exit the house, go through this breezeway, and then you enter the fish garage. Cunningham cichlids, when you flying me down? I don't know, man. I have no idea. So when you go in, directly to the left will be a drain. It'll have hot and cold water. I was kind of concerned on if I should do this now or not. And the cost was just under $1,700 to do it. So it is, I don't know, it's kind of pricey in my opinion. That's not including the sink. I got to put the sink in myself. And then we work towards insulation. So we already picked blown in insulation. It's going to be up top and on the side. It's all moisture resistant stuff. The paint is moisture resistant, and yeah, it's going to be white walls. It's going to be very simple in there. I've got 2 LED lights. There's a little bit of light that can come in from the side door because it's a half window door. And yeah. So somebody just asked, how do I park my car in the garage? That garage was never designed to park cars in. I will be parking the cars in the other attached 2-car garage, where we have the 3rd car garage detached, which actually makes more sense when you do it, because usually that attached 3rd garage is very narrow to get in. So at least this one's a separate structure. Somebody said you should use a linear air piston pump. Nope, not happening. I do not want a lot of noise in this environment. It's going to be a very, very, I don't know, relaxing. It's going to be a very comfortable environment, nicely lit, really nice looking aquariums with nice looking fish, not just hodgepodge or switching out tanks. What I may do is have one aquarium that cycles through different fish, and maybe that one is the bigger fish, right? The South American fish. But for the most part, you know, all of my aquariums will be what they are. You know, they're like Joey. Joey does a great job of cycling out tanks, and he can trade them back into his store. He does a great job of that. And the idea for me is I want to watch a lot of these fish grow. I want to see them, you know, take on the community. I want to see them in their hierarchy. So that's the idea for this. And, you know, Slash the turtle is going to move into the garage more than likely. So the idea is either getting him a really cool tank or a pond-like environment where if he does get out for some reason, he is in an enclosed area where I can quickly grab him and put him back, or have a ramp. He can, whatever. I don't know yet. So I would definitely recommend you make your fish room a place you want to spend time in. Absolutely. I don't want this to be 2x4 racks and brrr, you know, you go in there and you're like, I don't want to deal with this. I want it to be an inviting environment. And so that's the idea. So let's talk electricity. I have 2 options when I go in. My first option is I'm going to talk to the electrician on Thursday. Wendy and I have plans to see if he will do some of these things outside of the builder. I don't know if he's down with that. And I would pay him separately. A lot of the stuff can be done, I would assume. I'm not an electrician. I'm not taking away how hard things are. But I would assume that when you're originally doing these things inside a room that has no walls, it literally is framed. It has the outside, you know, OSB going, and it's not even bricked outside yet. That it would be far easier and far less expensive to do the things that I would like to do. So ideally, I want my own, breaker panel, specifically for the aquarium area. Whether it could be done or not, I don't know. So that's number 1. If not, I am going to have 2 dedicated, I guess you could say, breakers on the main panel for that specific area. Oh, circuits, 2 dedicated circuits. So I want the whole breaker panel. If I can't get that because of cost, I want 2 dedicated circuits to that specific area. And then the idea for me is for every aquarium, I would like 2 outlet panels. So 4 outlets. So look, 2 20-amp circuits should cover it. Perfect. This is the type of stuff. I don't know this, and I don't have time to study more and more of this, because why reinvent the wheel? So, you know, I've got Wendy, she's jamming. So we got 2 dedicated 20-amp circuits specifically for that area. If not, I would like a whole panel, not a whole panel, but a panel dedicated. So I'm going to talk to him about it and just give him an idea of what I'm working with. And then I don't want the outlets, I believe Cunningham told me this, but I don't want the outlets sitting so low like they normally do in your home. I actually want them elevated a little bit. And I'm not talking all the way up halfway the wall like you would a TV. I'm just talking higher up, just in case there is a flood or there is water that gets down there. So I kind of want them, I'm thinking about 2 feet off the ground, and that should cover each aquarium. So I would have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 total outlets for the aquariums. And then far forward, I would have maybe a panel or 2 of outlets for storage water. Because my idea is, this is a well, and I thought that it would be really cool just to have some jugs, maybe cordoned off, and with a false wall to protect the insulation from the garage door, because it will have a garage door. What's up, Jay? How all is well? Hope all is well with you guys. My daughter was born March 30th. Woo! Congratulations, buddy. Do me a favor. Put an emoji of some sort, a heart, a thumbs up, a congratulations to Billy for being a dad. His daughter was born March 30th. That is amazing. So, Billy, go get some sleep, man. You don't have to watch this. So the garage door is going to stay the same. The whole concept is that I don't want to convert the garage fully to a completely separate living space, right? Because it is a garage, and 3-car garages are very, very attractive on the market. So let's say I get a crazy job offer and CJ promotes me and they say, hey, look, we got to do this, or, you know, something crazy happens and I have to sell that home. I need to have that 3rd-car garage. So I'm keeping the door, but I'm going to work with some folks to help build a false wall. I'll put in some of the, I forgot what they're called, but basically they repel the heat. I'm more worried about the heat in Oklahoma than I am the cold, because with a space heater that could, you know, generate some decent heat, I should be able to retain the heat for the most part. I'm not a fan of heaters, but I would have heaters that I can turn on in the wintertime. Now, in the summertime is where it's going to get a little difficult. So radiant barrier. So I want to do the radiant barrier on the garage door, false wall, maybe all the way up, just to seal that area in and keep the cool air that I would be generating into this space. Now, whether it's a portable AC or I just have a really cool fan design that can circulate the air. I've done this before in Oklahoma with some aquariums, and I really didn't have any issues, but I'm doing this on a much larger scale. But I would be in the really cold areas, I would be potentially just heating the room. And then when I know that it's going to get very cold, and of course, as time goes on with this area, I'm going to live through these seasons and I'm going to have to adapt to what happens, right? So maybe the first year I've got the heaters in and I don't use them. Now I know that I don't necessarily need the heaters, but they're ready if I do. I will have the water moving so that anything that's off the wall has some insulation behind it that you won't see. I've got the whole plan for that. But the electricity is, I don't want to say it's scaring me, but it is, I don't know. I have no idea, but maybe. Electricity just scares me. That's it. And I want it to be good, because at some point we're going to put a natural gas backup generator on the whole home. And I need to be able to make sure that that also does the aquariums. and more so just keeping the water moving, right? So I'm going to be using canister filters, as anybody knows, for everything that is inside this garage. I will not be using any sponge filters or air generation at all. It's just not happening. No, this is not happening. Now, I'll probably use whales for most of it. And then we have some pond canisters that I may use. I'm not sure. They're pretty beefy, but we'll figure it out once I kind of hone down the aquariums. So electricity is next on Thursday. Then I'm assuming, not the builder, they will insulate, sheetrock, and then we'll paint. Before I move aquariums in here, the floor is concrete. And I know concrete remains cool. So my thought is, before I bring these aquariums on, should I seal it? Should I put a floor in? Is there anything that you folks would recommend? Now, there's no drain specifically on the floor, so I won't be able to drain directly in. So that's kind of the idea. Brock B, word came through the grapevine to me at work today. Do you know a guy named Wilson in Edmond that has a ton of fish tanks? It's kind of weird knowing that it's weird. Are you going to just heat the room rather than the tanks? It's up in the air, probably both, but more importantly, the room, I've got to keep it going. An area rug cheap and can be changed easily. So the area rug, yes, but it's more so where the aquarium stands are going to sit. You know, these are going to be, I'm working with the cabinet company to see if they can make me these aquarium stands, so there's not the markup to the aquarium industry. So we'll see. Unless you are running multiple 200 plus gallon reef tanks with tons of high wattage, high amperage lighting, you'll be fine. Canisters don't pull a ton of power. No, they don't. But when I'm rocking 2, 4 to 12 of them, if not more, there's potential that they can draw a lot of power. The only lighting and saltwater aquarium that I will have will be inside the home, and that's going to be the one that's drawing probably the most power. And then I've got the Paludarium. I want the Paludarium in my office because it's going to be like a really cool, I don't know, just a whole ecosystem. But so I have my office where I'll do most of the lives. There'll be some stuff behind me. I'll be able to discuss some things, and then I can go live remote from the garage with all the aquariums. So there's just so many different things, but electricity and then floor. Do you folks have any recommendations? Should I seal the floor in with a gloss, or would that even help? Should I just leave it the way it is? That's kind of my thought, right? That's the idea, is I want to seal in what I'm doing in the inside, because everybody talks about, oh, you've got to insulate the garage door, you got to insulate the floor. The idea is, if it's cool inside that room and I've insulated like crazy, it's going to take longer to warm up if I don't have a heating source, right? So my idea is I want to control this environment as much as I can. Wendy, most importantly, how's your Wi-Fi going to be in the fish room? Primo. Don't you worry about that. If I have to put a repeater through the attic, inside the breezeway, or all the way into the fish room, I will do so. Running that many canisters cost a lot more than big air pump. But yeah, canisters just look better than sponges. 100%. 100%. I couldn't agree with you more. But when it comes to it, I'm running 8 canisters now in the home, plus all of the other small little tanks that are generating their own wattage with all of the lights, to include stuff that doesn't have filters on it. There's beta tanks, there's canisters on the Slashes tank, there's the Zebra Pleco tank, there's the shrimp tank. I mean, I'm running stuff left and right. My electricity bill in this home is under $100. And it'll go up a little bit with AC because I enjoy nice cool air. But yeah, that doesn't bother me. Consider plumbing to be one shared sump with a couple massive return pumps. I thought about it, but I guess the way I looked at it is I can always do that later with the aquariums that I'm building. I have most of the equipment already. I have the lighting. I have the canister filters. I have all this stuff. So I like to get things up and running in the most, I guess, efficient manner based on what I have in terms of product, so to speak. But that's kind of the way I'm rocking. Leave the concrete alone. Ceiling will not add heat or hold heat. Then I guess I was wrong. Humidifier. I don't need a humidifier because there's going to be aquariums in there. Excuse me, but I do have a dehumidifier. So that's a piece of equipment that I bought here in this home because of all these open tanks. I don't have to worry about dehumidifying the home now because there's only going to be one, potentially two open tanks, probably one. But in that room, there won't be any open tanks. So I've got to figure out how to sell some of these tanks and get that, completely sealed up. Very, very similar to Congo tank. If you watch the video I just did on Sunday, which please do so at some point, it'd be greatly appreciated. I got Dwight, what is it? They're Tetrodon Shrewdeni. So this is Dwight Shrewdeni. Very sad, I know. But that has glass lids. I'm going back to that. These are beautiful aquariums. They're great. And if you have one, it's perfect. If you have a couple desktops, it's perfect. You have 11, it's not perfect. There's just a lot of moisture in the air, and I don't like it. You don't sleep as good. It's not good for, one, the total environment. It's not good for the home. It's just not good for a lot of different things. So I will be rocking and rolling with actual glass lids on tanks, and I'm pricing some stuff out. In a perfect world, I would love to just get all custom aquarium tanks. They all look the same, but I don't have the I don't have the cash for that. I plan for a lot of stuff, and I'm very resourceful, but I'm not that resourceful. So unless I hit the lottery, then yeah, that's pretty much it. So what am I missing? That's kind of the idea. Oh, by the way, this camera will not shut off because I have it hooked up to power. And I did a better job at preparing this time. Yay me. Okay, so open area, awesome. 8 aquariums, maybe a pond, indoor pond, not sure because there is, Wendy's like, I need a backyard oasis. She doesn't sound like that. But I need to get this little flashing light is gonna go away. Hey Jay, I commented on your video yesterday asking about the Malawi background. I ended up going with crystal background for 40 breeder as well. Hope goes well. Better choice, better choice. What color scheme are you painting it? It's gonna be white, but the house is white, black, and cedar. We're fancy, super fans. So the inside of this aquarium room, you folks know that I like white. I like the shade. I like the absence of color called white. So there's probably going to be white, a lot of it in there. And then that's where the colors will pop. A lot of folks say black. Black makes everything pop. Black absorbs a lot of light, and some fish feel like there is a lot of nothingness behind them, so they kind of clam up. So the idea is white stands, white walls, very clean, very, very bright, and these aquariums with just really good lighting and different types of lighting, so that I could showcase the different types of lighting, like the Reef Brights and the Kessel and the Zet Light and the Fluval Plant 3.0. I want to be able to do this so that I can discuss the different things that go through, because yes, I am the person that likes all one thing. Like seriously, it's like a condition. It's really, even having two different brands of cars, I know it's silly. It does bother me just a little bit. I use a dehumidifier in my room. It helps keep the temperature up while removing moisture. Win-win. Yeah. So I'll have that, but the idea is the dehumidifier I have doesn't really warm anything. It actually pushes cooler air out in a fan, but I mean, not right now, but I was pulling 6 gallons of water a day out of the air. Now, granted, some of that was probably coming out of aquariums like directly instead of being in the air, but it was not good. So yeah, whites, lots of whites, and then pops of color through one fish, plants, and it's not just going to be barren walls, right? The idea for this is I want to be able to come in and sit down, relax. If somebody wants to come in, I got, maybe there's some friends over. If I get friends, have some friends over and just hang out, right? We can be separate from the home. There's so many different things. This could be an escape for anyone. It could be an escape for Wendy. When Liam's over and he's just like, look, I don't want to be outside. I want to go over here. I want him to be able to do that. He can walk right across. It doesn't matter the weather. You can just, this is like a dream that is becoming a reality. And I've worked, don't get me wrong. I've had a lot of great people around me in life that I chose to be around me. And then I had a lot of people that said, look, I need to be around you in a sense. And it's been great. But I worked my ass off to get here. Ups and downs. I'm talking big ups and downs, like big wave, Eddie would go type Hawaii stuff, down to like bare bottom, treading water. Am I going to be able to make it to the next month? My whole life. And life is that. Aquariums to me are what has kept me stable. What has kept me continuing to push further and further. YouTube doesn't pay remotely close to the amount of work that I put in. I hope one day that it does, because then I could do a lot more giving back. When I went through my divorce, it was a reset. It was, I bottomed out. And now I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And this home that Wendy and I are building is a big piece of that light. And that aquarium room, it's mine, with touches of everyone that I've ever come in contact with ideas and impact and thoughts. And I say, oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do that. But this is a place that I can go in and say, this is it right here. This is hard work, but it was worth it. The home was hard work, but it's worth it. I mean, it's hard work. And I'm not going to say it's not. Anything in life that's worth it is a lot of work. That is the truth. It's 100% true. Some people have a better, think of life as a marathon, right? Just do this for me. Aquarium keeping, life, career, but life as a whole is a marathon, right? And there's always these things that I hear. Well, that person, they came from a rich family. Well, that person over there, they've had every good break. You know those? You know those ones that you're like, wish I was them. You know who I'm talking about because you've said this at some point in your life. And you know what's funny? They have too. But here's the deal. Life is a race. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not a quarter mile. It's a marathon, a very long one. Some people get to start sooner. That's it. They get a better place to start. But that doesn't mean that the finish line is any different. It just means that you, me, have to work harder through that marathon to get to where we want to go, so that when we do get to that finish line, we know that we left it all out there. It's true. And so a part of this for me is I've worked really hard, and I've had a lot of folks help me out along the way. I'm not taking 100% credit for it at all. But this aquarium area, this garage, is very much exciting for me. It's very much I'm looking forward to it, and I want it to be amazing for me. I just hit the like, you guys. Did everyone remember to hit the hit the like? I appreciate that. So Regina, Zen, Mary, I appreciate you folks joining. So give me some ideas. I want ideas. I'm not doing this blindly. This is something that I would love input from folks. You know, it is going to be cichlids. So the community tanks that have cichlids will probably have some other things in it, but I'm not going to have like a 180 gallon shrimp tank. It's not me. Maybe a small one for Liam. Maybe there's a rack in there. The Vivariums, I forgot about them. I have 2. They'll go in there. So just very, very excited to have a place where everything's at. I know folks were talking about auto water changes. I've got an Ultra Zero that I can drop in, and I can probably do, I couldn't even tell you, 3 aquariums at once if I do it right with the Ultra Zero. I just don't want to put a lot of plumbing into it, the pumps. I could get all of it, but then I still have to drain it somewhere. And then it's going to have to run along the wall. I don't like it. I really, really enjoy clean lines. I always have. I mean, even when I was in basic training in the military, like this is funny, but this is, for some of you are going to be like, you're weird. So in basic training, you had a locker, but it wasn't a traditional locker. It had an A and B drawer, and then it had a legit locker, right? And in your A and B drawer, you had your socks, your skivvies. That's what we called them then. You know, your underwear, your unmentionables. And every Sunday, we would get inspected. And it had to be perfect. Had to be perfect. Cunningham Cichlids, that's why you went in the Navy, because you love their dress whites. Actually, Guy, I'll tell you why I joined the Navy, because the Marine Corps was my first shot, but they blew it. So I realized that I could create something that had clean lines. I starched the living bejeez out of my white tees, out of my underwear, out of my socks, and I called them a museum stack, right? It was clean lines. They were rolled perfect, and they sat, and I didn't touch them. I didn't wear underwear because there was nothing in the Blue Jacket manual or nothing anywhere that said you had to wear underwear. And so I wore my PT shorts underneath so that I had my underwear, my socks, and my white t-shirts always dress right. So they're your delicates. Yes, they were my delicates. So I've always been clean line. Even my inspections in my barracks room were always flawless because I just enjoy a clean environment. But yeah, and well, Wendy said I'm creative. I learned something a long time ago, and it was by a gentleman named Ralph Roper. Ralph Roper was an unassuming man. He was in the Army. He was a track and field coach. Very, very soft spoken. So, it's almost too soft. And I remember him telling me, I don't know, I think it was either my sophomore or junior year. I loved running. And he told me, Wilson, you run really, really hard. Like really hard. I think if we worked a little bit on form and training, that we wouldn't have to run so hard all the time. And he said, we're going to work smarter, not harder. And I know as years progress, we've heard this time and time again. But the first time I heard that was from him, work smarter, not harder. And he also gave me something that really played into it, because through life, you do want to work smarter and not harder. But at the same time, if you're doing everything alone, it sucks. It's that much harder. And we had a shirt that said, and it's cheesy, but it's real, teamwork makes the dream work. And it truly is a profound thing to say, because when you have a good quality team, it doesn't matter what it is. Maybe you're in an area that's not so nice and you've got a mission to take care of, or you have a team at work, or you have your family team, or you're coaching a team. When you all work cohesively together as one, everything gets done better, faster, just overall more creativity. It works. Go Commando. Jay could bounce a quarter off his bed. It was so neat. My corners were 90 degrees. It was insane. The only problem I had was the pillows. I was not good at the pillows. So I exchanged the corners with a guy directly across from me, and I'll never forget his last name. His last name was Porsche. He looked like Garfield, like a live action Garfield. That dude can work a pillow better than anybody. And I was able to do 90s and 45s like it was going out of style. So we just exchanged work. I bartered. But yeah, I mean, you had to take the pillow and hold it, beat it. I mean, beat that sucker so it was flat. The corners were filled, and then it was a pain. It was just ridiculous. So give me some ideas. And think about it in the way of some place that you can go sit down and enjoy. I'm talking anything from design to paintings on the wall, or artwork, or, throw rugs. If you've got ideas, I love to hear them. So Regina Phalanges, is it Phalanges Fingers? I think I went over this. Said, I'm starting a multi-tank. Do you like those? I'm assuming she means multifasciatus. And yes, I do love them. They're awesome. I love Lake Tanganyika. And if you haven't figured that out yet, I don't know where you've been. I like Africa in general. I love the lakes. I love a lot of what Africa has to offer. And primarily that's what this room will be. But at the same time, I'm going to have my Malawi, my Tanganyika cichlid posters in there. I'm going to have pretty much everything that encompasses aquariums out there. My office will have, my collectibles, those style of things I'm going to have a pull down so that I can change my background. The lighting will be on point. There's a lot of things that I'm working towards. I sold my computer to make a buck, got a smaller computer, monitor, still came out ahead to use money towards this room. And yeah, Josh Cunningham, take the trip with me to Africa in 2022. I know, not yet. Maybe 2023. You going to bring back the Holy Rock tank? Probably not. Holy Rock is very difficult to get, but we'll see. Nothing's really out of question when it comes to this room. So I have peacocks, haps, multis, brevis, similis, ocellatus, and imbunas. Now that sounds like a quality room. I can't tap into water pipes because of rental. So I have drilled my tanks, which goes to a big bucket with a submersible pump. That's a possibility too if you don't have a drain. Yeah, I mean, I could drain it outside too. It's just then I got to open the garage door, blah, 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 blah. If I just have, my idea is 3 Ultra Zeros running to 1 larger tube, draining into the sink at the front, click on, go, drain, fill up from either pre-made jugs or straight from the tap, depending on the season, and we'll be good to go. It's a well. I've got my own water. I'll have it tested. Here, the water is just, I don't know what's wrong with the water here. It is gross. It is weird. And it leaves a film everywhere. And I've never experienced that. Not in Texas, where everybody says the water sucks. Not in any other house that I've had well or this water supply. So I'm wondering if it has a lot to do with the pipes in this area because there's a lot of homes in this neighborhood. Hey, Jay, set an alarm to remind me of Livestream, fell asleep. It's all right, Darth. It's okay. Marco from Italy. Buongiorno, miei amici. So, yes, I'm very excited. There are some, hiccups that we've run into, like they're not putting in the sink. It's not a big deal. I wanted specific things. I wanted to be able to go into this home, foam off some stuff, and then let them add the insulation, and they won't let me do it. So I'm just trying to make sure that I control this environment and that ultimately it's everything that I've wanted. And it's going to be a work in progress, but I'll be danged if I rush it. I'm not just going to go, oh, this aquarium's on sale, I'm going to get this. If I'm going to do 6 aquariums in here, I want all 6 aquariums to look the same. Just different scaping, different fish. The lighting will be slightly different. That's the way I want it. Now, I may change it up. I may go, you know what? Maybe on the sides, I want some taller tanks, or, give me some ideas. Maybe I'm overthinking this. What's going to be the center tank or main show tank, size, stock? So I'm jumping back and forth on if it's going to be 2 6-foot tanks, as close together as I can get them with a continuous scape so that they're the same lights, but different fish. Or if I'm going to do 1 long tank, which would probably be like a 9-footer, 8-9-footer, I don't know. And I want it to be a very colorful tank. More than likely, I'm going to be honest with you, it will probably be a HAP peacock tank, or just a HAP tank. Or maybe I do the 2 6-foots together, continuous run, HAPs and peacocks. I don't know. Once the drywall's in, I get rocking, I'll be able to decide a little bit more. But I know where I'm going for most of the fish. I do want to start smaller. I don't necessarily want to just boom, go crazy and get the fish. Like when I got Dwight, he's perfect. He's like that big. He'll grow a little bit bigger. I just need snails. Does anybody know where I can get a ton of snails? Anyone, because I need them and I can't grow them fast enough. 50% of his diet I want to be snails. I'm feeding bloodworms, and the rest of the aquarium is eating bloodworms or Bug Pro or krill flake. So somebody said HAPs and peacocks in ones and Mbuna in the other. Maybe. I've always wanted to do like a really cool Mbuna tank that pops, like really pops. So we'll see. There's just a lot. 2 6-footers, 1 tank with sand divers and Star Sapphire HAPs, and the other tank with whatever Wendy wants. Yeah, I mean, I don't want it to be species only. If I'm going to do something like that, it would probably go further up where I wouldn't be filming a lot if I was doing species only, unless I'm doing like Tropheus like this. I look at this tank and the Tropheus are growing, but they're not fast growers. They never have been. And it's just a big aquarium. And right here is the perfect size for them. And with these massive Congo tetras from Aquarium Fish Depot and that amazing Congo tetra or Congo puffer. I'm at like the limit of fish in there. And yeah, so, but this tank it's doing well. It really is. So Darth Blunt said, I like the Haps Peacocks one and Mbuna any other. I do like that. It's a cool idea. It is a really, really cool idea. Somebody said I should do Frontosa. I think that was Kreger's fish. Maybe I'll do Frontosa if you send me some. I've had Frontosa before. They're just boring, man. They're just move slow and just I've always wanted to do Petrochromis, but the ones that I want, nobody can bring them in. And if they do, they'll just terrorize each other. You could talk to Josh Cunningham about bringing in Petrochromis. Moshi Yellow. Good job. He brought him in. He was so excited. And then very sad. Very sad. Colin Tran just sub. Thank you very much, Colin. I greatly appreciate that. Also, do you guys like, I forgot to turn on the accent light, but whatever. Do you folks like the way this camera works? It's a new camera. I've got I don't want to say new lighting. I'm utilizing lighting in a different way. I'd like to know if it appeals well. The aquarium behind me, when I'm using the reef brights at a certain brightness, they start to flicker and it's very annoying for the viewer, including myself. So that's why it looks really yellow today. But overall, I'd like to know, you look awesome. Why, thank you. No, I want it, the lighting has to be right. It's a big thing for me. I've been working diligently since the beginning to change how I've done things. I've been very lazy in some of these aspects, and it needs to change because I have the equipment. I just need to utilize it better. Are you opposed to dwarf cichlids like Apistos or Rams? Make a harem colony in the middle bottom, have plecos for very bottom. No, I'm not. I'm not against anything except discus. They're really boring. I mean, you thought Frontosa were boring. Whew. Yeah, throw some 3-point lighting in there, bro. There is. I got lighting here. I got lighting here. I got lighting here. And then here, look, let's accent it. Let's do it. We'll do it for the gram, right? Let's do it. Boom. Let me see. Boom. Got the green. Let's see. Do the blue. Can we do the blue? Can we brighten it up in here? I don't know. There's so much extra light. It's probably not going to show up. Did it change? I don't know. Anyways, somebody asked what kind of snails. Snails that my puffer can mangle. Very, very good. That's what I want. Peacocks and haps swimming back and forth and Mbuna swimming all over would be really active. Yeah, it would. And being a focal point, it'd be nice. And then I can have, what is it? What are the red eye Uaru that I posted that I'm really interested in? I would like to do a group of them in one of the tanks. And then, a really cool Tanganyika community tank that pops. I've always wanted to do Fo'i, where they build the bowers. But I'd probably have to dedicate a tank to them, and I don't know if I really want to do that. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. Cunningham, be on the ready, man, because we're going to be buying some fish. Jay will you be at Aquashella in Orlando in June? 100% I will be. Okay, I shouldn't say 100%. Yes, I will be there with Ciche. I will also be at Reefapalooza in Orlando in May as well. So if you're interested, please come check it out. We'll be doing some giveaways. It'll be a fun time. I think your camera looks great. I look red, actually. This probably has to do with the whiskey to here and all of the sun that we got this weekend. It's been really nice in Oklahoma. So all in all, everything's good. Problems, yeah, we're going to overcome them. We'll have more updates on Thursday. Maybe I won't go live, but I'll do a story update. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but please, it's Instagram /JWill07. I can put it, let me see this little ditty down here. I think it's Instagram.com/JWill07. It's going well over there, as you know, too. So we'll have some updates that are different. Members are getting photos. I'm showing you stuff before it happens. So the members will get the electric. The difficult part with the member stuff, and I greatly appreciate those who are members. They don't make it easy to do mobily. Wendy's preparing dinner, as you can hear the clanks. It's a clank, clank. Near OKC, Kansas line. Yeah, so we're north of Oklahoma City. We're about 4 hours-ish less to the Kansas line. Okay. So they just don't make it easy. If I want to upload a video, I have to do it unlisted. Then I have to come back to the computer and then make it for members. Just really, YouTube, fix it. Come on, man. Really. So I'm trying to get some videos so you folks can see, the members can see the behind the scenes content and the raw. It's not edited. It's thrown up there. And yeah, you'll get some updates on a lot of the animals before anybody else does, especially when we get them in. That clank didn't come through the audio. Then this is a good microphone because it sounds like it's the clank. Again, she's like, tink, tink. So it is what it is. The aquarium room's coming along. If you've got ideas, throw them in the comments. Folks are going to be able to see these comments hopefully afterwards. Ah, crap. They're not, because I didn't set it because YouTube didn't want to work. Yes, when you added the red, it really warmed the background. There you go. So there, we're good. We're rocking. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So do me a favor, continue to do the amazing things you do for YouTube, for this channel. Like, check out the stories, community, participate. There's just a lot of great things that I'm trying to incorporate. I'm one person. I don't have a team, and this isn't a full-time job. I have a full-time career that I really enjoy with Ciche, and then I have, maybe we can center the aquarium to the camera. I mean, maybe we could, or maybe we could do like this. Look at see, it also does different exposures. I just added whiskey to my glass. Everything's warmer. So I don't even know where I was at. I do remember. I'm a one-man show. And my career is great with Ciche. This is an outlet for me. And of course I wanted to be super successful. Marcus Cooper, I greatly appreciate the super chat. Stuff like that, it helps. It reinvigorates energy. It's not requested, it's not needed, but it's a boost. And it really is. The memberships, they're a boost. And at some point, I want to get YouTube to be at a point, I'm not kidding you, where I can utilize that money to give away some amazing things. Right now, I'm probably a quarter of the way to the goal. But once I get to a specific goal monthly, between merch, you can go buy some merchandise. There's mugs and hoodies and all the cool things, stickers and t-shirts, all that stuff helps. And as I get to this specific point, because, it's a running cost for everything. But when I hit this point, I want to be able to give away, like buy things and just send them. And right now I can't do it like I used to do it. Aquarium companies used to do it a lot. And now they can't do it anymore because of how many YouTubers there are. And I understand that. So folks, I appreciate everything and anything you do. Enjoy the rest of your week. I've got some shorts that are coming out, some stories that'll be happening. And I appreciate your support here and on Instagram. Facebook's meh. And I hope to see you at some of the shows, Reefapalooza, Aquashella, May and June, and potentially hitting up some stores that I will let you folks know about before it happens. So thank you very much for taking the time out of your evening, for pouring your whiskey. And remember, life is the marathon. Some of us have a different starting point, and there are obstacles along the way, and they're different for everyone. But if you put in some hard work, you continue to train, you keep a lot more good than you do bad, life won't be so bad. And if you need help mentally, physically, emotionally, ask for it. It's okay to ask for it. This thing that folks say is a stigma, it's not a stigma. We're just afraid to ask for things. I was afraid to ask family for something that I may need. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to talk to somebody. Don't be afraid to say, hey, I'm not feeling good today. Can I talk to you about it? That's okay. It's encouraged. I'm here. The only thing I think what bothers me a little bit is folks that will reach out to me, especially when I was through my divorce and I was, I call it on the come up and leaving that bad situation. I was having people contact me and now they don't talk to me at all, but they get advice. How did you get through it? I'm going to watch what you did. And then they don't talk anymore. And it shouldn't be that way. But if you need help, I'll be here no matter what. No criticism. I'll tell you exactly the way I went through it. I've been through a lot in life. I've been through drug addicted parents. I've been through the death of my father, which was in my home. I've been through a divorce. I've been through a moment where I found out I couldn't have a son. And then I put a lot of effort into a business, and through that business and through other things, I was able to have a son who is here and 4 years old and amazing. And I've overcome that physically, emotionally, and financially. I'm still overcoming it. And I've overcome trials and tribulations of rejection and exception and being told yes. And then my career that I love was ripped away from me. And there's so many different things. But I'm here now. I have the knowledge that I can pass on, and I ask for help, and so should you. So if you find yourself struggling, don't hesitate to ask anyone for help. Anyone. There's hotlines. There's comments, there's direct messages. Don't stop until you get it. Don't take the selfish way. The selfish way is keeping everything to yourself and thinking that you're making the difference. The unselfish way is getting the help that you need in whatever facet that is. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. You know what's next. HOLLA!